So let me start recording. So what you ultimately, I'm almost done with this one. So I should have kept the whole sheet. Oh, here, let me show you. So this is what, share my screen. Hold on. Share that one.
So do you Zoom with people often?
I use Zoom. I work for Pluxus, which is a health and wellness company, and so we do a lot of trainings on Zoom. We do a lot of meetings on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
And things like that. So that's why I know Zoom. Otherwise, I wouldn't know it. Okay, so
well, just a quick question: does it cost you to have a Zoom account?
No, you can do a free one, which will give you 40 minutes free. And now they let you record. You used to have to pay to record. And I don't know how long it's going to let us record. I don't know that part. But you can have a 40-minute meeting for free with as many people as you need.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because it's us two, we can have this. I mean, we could talk all night and it wouldn't matter. There's no time limit on just two people.
Okay, so, cool.
You can just use, I'm assuming you have an account, a Zoom account.
Well, I don't have it as, well, I just downloaded it, so I didn't know if I could do meetings or not. I was just thinking for the missionaries, sometimes I need to talk to them, that are kind of far away or something, so.
Yes, yeah, you just create it. It's in your, let's have a meeting on this too. Let's see. Where's my.
Oh, and that's okay. I can kind of look up and see and check it out.
Because here, you can start your own. Like I just set up my own meeting. If you go to your account, and now I can't, I don't know where it is. But when you log into your account, there's option to start a meeting or to create a meeting.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if it'll let me do it once I'm on it. But you just set up a meeting, set up a time, and then send out that link. And then you just start it. So it's pretty easy. Okay, Excel. I've created this. I'll send you the template. Basically, the template is a bunch of these cells, white, gray, white, gray, white, gray. Okay. Each of these lines represent a page. So I'll show you how to be like, okay, we want not a page, a sheet. A sheet. It represents a sheet. So I'll show you how to figure out, okay, how many sheets of paper do we need? And then this blue line that I've created is the end of the sheet of the number of pages that I need for whichever book I'm doing. And then I'll show you how to create the word portion of it. But then I print that out. There's a lot of details. I hope I don't overwhelm you. But so the last letter, I've got to this point. So ultimately what you're going to do, now I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to focus on, let's see if you can see, is what you're going to do, because each one of these, well, I guess like this, each one is a page. You're going to line up the page. Now, I don't care what you do. Whatever you decide, stick with it. Be consistent. Because obviously this is like a thick line, but your page isn't that thick. So what I like to do is I like to line up my page the farthest point of it. Let's see. And this is bad because the first line is white. So I'll be lining my page up right to the edge of my gray. This is kind of difficult to show you how to do it. So whatever you decide, say you're going to line it up right here. So all you could just pretend that there's actual lines.
Okay.
So I'm going to line with this line. Then the next line I'm going to line up right here. And then I'm going to line up right here, line up right here.
So on both outsides of the dark line.
Basically, yeah. Okay. Yeah. If that's how you remember it. So then what you do is you're going to line it up. And I've cut up a cardboard just off of a cereal to make it a bit more sturdy. You can get any cardboard you want, but this is sturdy but also flexible. And so then what I do The other thing is, this is your constant. You'll always line this up with the top of the page. If I can move some stuff on my desk. The top here. So if you're lining this up, let me get my thing, and it's not, you're maybe doing it too much or too less, that's not going to work. So try and that's why I highlight it so I can see that edge a lot better. So you line it up, and then you're just going to mark here. Dunk, dunk. Now you're like, oh, wait, that there's a line down here. I'm not going to do, you can't do both because you're only going to be lining up one.
Okay.
The next page will be down here, and you'll alternate. If you have like this L's, my L's, there's no doubles here. It's just you're gonna mark from the top, you're gonna mark the bottom. Top, bottom, here, top, bottom. But you see the E, when I have these three parts here, I alternate. So you'll get to the point, you'll do a bottom, then you'll do middle, top, go back to the bottom, middle, top. So that's why the more pages you have, especially if you have like an O or an S, because that will have 3 points, or even like some of the A's will have 3 points. You'll want those with more sheets of paper because you're going to be missing points.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's why, let me show you then. So then I've marked that first bit. I've marked the beginning of my Y. So now what I do to remember where I'm at, because this can get really confusing. So I've marked that. I've marked this. So to remind me that I'm going down here, is I just do a little mark. Bless you. I'll do a little mark so that I know, okay, the next page I'm going to be covering up that mark and going to that line. So then I go to the next page. Can you even see? Let's make sure. Can you see? So then I've covered up that mark, and I'm going to go down here. And then to show me where I'm going to go next is I just do a little mark up here.
And you're marking that on the template then?
Yes. Okay. Yep. I'm only marking where I'm going to be folding on the sheet of paper. But I mark on the template so I know where I'm going. And then if I get called away, if I get distracted, I just go to my next blank space and I'm going to cover up the farthest mark that I've made.
Okay.
And like I said, if that confuses you, then figure out a way that you'll just remember where you need to go. Like if it's easier to, I don't know, mark what you've done, then mark what you've done. I don't know how to do that because this is what I've done. But eventually then on your template, you'll see like I've marked. You can go back and you can say, okay, these ones that I've marked, that's what I folded.
Okay.
And so that it's just easier to keep track of where you're going and what you're doing. So once you've marked,
you have to go and move your template along.
Yeah, like I'll have to rip. That's why I couldn't show you the full thing because, you rip. You get to the point where it gets stuck. So you're like, oh, okay, well, I can't push that in any farther.
Far enough,
So
right.
then, yeah. And I just got this blue tack to help me keep it on, but you can use tape. Tape is just fine. It just wears out really quick, and I got sick of reapplying it.
Okay.
So then once I'm done, basically what I could do is I can take this off because I've already done the E. I've already folded it. I don't need that part anymore. I can take it off of here. and just rip. You don't want to get right close to where you're going to be. It's good to have a little bit of space.
Okay.
Just, I've found it's easier. So then just rip off what you don't need and reapply. And let's see, how did I just do that? Where's my sticky? Oh, that's not going to need. Sometimes you then have to fold it through the back like this one has, but this one will be all on the front. And I line up, I put the top a little bit hanging over the edge. So it's like hanging just a titch over the edge, not right up to it, because then it's, for some reason, that makes it hard to line up. The cardboard makes it hard to line up. So I just give it a little bit of a lip when I put it on.
Line up in the page?
No, line up on the cardboard.
Oh, okay.
When I'm putting this on right now, because then it's just easier. When you line it up on the page, it makes it easier.
Oh, okay, that's your constant edge. Okay.
Yeah, that's my constant edge. And if it's too close to the cardboard, it's just hard to line up on the page. I don't know why, it just is. I'm giving you all these tips. You figure out. As you go, you'll be like, yeah, that was helpful. And be like, no, that didn't work for me. And that's awesome. I'm just explaining to you what's worked for me and what my wisdom, whatever. Okay, so then folding, all you'll do then is you'll fold to the top, fold to the bottom to get a constant angle. Good thing about books, is that the words are on the line. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use the lines to help you. You'll line this up with the words.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so you're gonna come to where I marked, and you're gonna try and get as close to the mark as you can. And then you're gonna line up. Do you see? And then what I found is you push in the middle and then go out and out. And make a nice little crease. And then you're gonna fold up this way. Go to where you marked.
So they meet almost like a little miter.
I don't know what that is.
A mitered corner is, yeah, that kind of corner.
Okay, yes, that. And then make a crease. If it's an old book, it starts to fray. So I just like to, whatever. So then that's the beginning of your Y.
Okay, so now did you put those right together? Did you like leave a little space in them?
I did, because that's where the mark was. So right here.
Because both sides. Oh, sorry. I've got to. Oh, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I got to find you.
Did you lose me?
Well, I have a. Oh, there you are. Okay. I have a touch screen. I touched my screen, thinking it's like, you're gone. Okay.
Disappear.
Okay,
So
that's right.
Right there where I did. So they're going to be really close because that's
Okay.
kind of a small part.
Okay, so like when you're down here a little bit farther in the Y, when it's opened up, you're going to leave that space. They're going to be this far apart rather than.
Yeah, down here. So we'll go to the next page. It's going to be a little bit of a bigger gap.
Okay.
Can you even see the markings?
I can't see the marking on the book.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I see
right
that.
there. So
Okay.
it's going to be a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And
Okay,
so
that
I
makes
do the
sense.
same thing. Now on this book, I didn't have a problem at all with, sometimes yours will probably do this. And so really it's just being constant up here when you mark. Make sure that the top is as close to here as you can. And then when you fold, just try and get as close to your marking as possible. and then you'll be good to go. Make sure this angle, you know, is close to, I don't even know if that would, what angle that is. But if you can get that angle constant, then down here, then this angle will be constant.
Okay.
If you don't, then there'll be like a piece of paper sticking out here because the angle will be off. Not a piece of paper, but the fold itself. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
the angle will be off a little bit. And maybe you don't care about all of that. And I wouldn't worry about it at the beginning because it's your first one. Don't expect perfection, but those are just the things if you keep, it'll look very uniform and very nice. So for, let's say you have way up here, you've got like a, if I do a bigger letter, I'll have markings up here. Let me show you with this one. Sometimes you have to do a double fold, and you probably will on yours.
okay.
Let me undo this. So do you see how this marking is kind of way up here? So it won't let you get that the same angle because the spine will be stopping it.
Okay.
So up here I can fold like this, and then let's see. I'm trying to do it because this is so big. So I can't quite get that fold to be, you'll have a little, and actually this wasn't too bad, but it'll get into the spine. So then I just have to fold, just do another fold to get that out of the way. So it'll kind of look like that. Instead of just doing one fold,
Okay.
you'll have to just fold. And I found,
Would it be better to fold that inside there?
yeah, and actually I went and I refolded it in.
Okay.
It really won't matter because the other page will keep it shut. You won't be able to see it really.
Okay.
I did because I think it looked, I don't even know why I did that. You can.
Okay.
Oh yeah, see this one I didn't redo. This one is, I just folded it in. But I found that if you can get this close to this fold, it doesn't go wonky. If I folded it so it was further back here, I don't know why, but for some reason it makes this tweak. It tweaks it, and so then it's not straight.
Okay.
I don't know why, but that's what I found to fix that, is just, you don't want it out here because then you can see it, but as close to that as you can without it being over.
Have you ever tried cutting that off?
Oh yeah, and you can, but that's just an extra step that you don't need. If you're doing a picture, I'll cut those off because it'll like make it way elongated. It'll make it look further like. Got into that. And this one isn't so because it doesn't really matter what if a dragon is elongated, but like I cut, let's see, did I cut off? Maybe I didn't cut this one. But if it tripled, oh yeah, no, I did. See, so I cut these off. Okay. Especially this one has like places where there was 5 points, and I wanted them as close together as possible. Then I would cut off that extra fold. Yes. Okay. But with words, it usually doesn't matter. With the E, actually, now that you mention it, I probably would go and cut the E so that it's closer together. That's a good idea. I'll do that. Also, another just tidbit at the beginning of the words that you can see. I don't like seeing the lines, you know, because this is going to be the beginning of the Y. So there's
Okay.
nothing here to hide that. So I'll just go in and I'll fold them the other way so that you don't see the lines. You don't see the fold or the
Oh,
fold.
okay.
Does
Okay.
that make sense? Otherwise, you're going to be seeing, at the beginning of the Y, you're going to be seeing this as opposed to, and it's just at the beginnings because the other ones they won't see, as opposed to a nicer, clean look. This looks better than that.
So you just fold it the other way?
Yeah, after I folded it initially, just to get the fold, then I just, to make it look better. So
Okay.
like here at the beginning of the E, I just folded them back so that you're not seeing page.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes
Sort of,
sense.
kinda.
Yes.
You don't have to, but for me, I'm a perfectionist. I don't like seeing those
I like
lines.
that too.
It's ugly. And
Yeah.
then I'll erase the mark on those because then you'll be able to see the mark of my pencil mark to mark that.
Have you ever folded things wrong and then had to refold them? Or does that kind of mess up your page? Or do you
It
see
kind of
the?
does. See, that's why I'll mark a letter and then I'll fold the letter because I can usually pick a mistake before I've gotten too far, and then I can cut the page out, and either I'll cut a page. That's why it'll be good that you'll have extra pages at the beginning and the extra pages at the end, because
Okay.
I have ripped a page out from the back of a book and inserted it in so I can refold that page.
Oh, okay.
Because that's another thing. If you miss a page, that's pages stuck together and you didn't mark a page, I'll just cut it out. Like
Okay.
you've already marked the whole letter. There's no point going back and redoing. I'll just take
Right.
that page out or I'll insert a page. So that's
Okay.
how I'll fix it. If it doesn't look good, sometimes it'll be fine because it'll be a big enough of a mistake that it's on the other end of the page instead of the top, or
Yeah. Okay.
but if it's enough that you're like, oh, that's gonna bug me, just cut it out, cut a page from the back, glue it in, and refold it.
Okay. Perfect.
I think that's it with the folding, just the alternating when there's a letter that has, so your O will have that, and maybe part of your J. The font I'm going to show you has these little foots,
Uh-huh.
and I like to do those if the letters are going to be close together and I need a bit of a break. But if you notice on my L's, I didn't do it on the top one. I just did it on this side and down here because I didn't want it too close to the other L. I wanted a little bit of a break. But I didn't do it here because then I'd be doing top, bottom, and it doesn't add to the letter to have that up there. But I did it over here, but I didn't do it right here or right here or right here. So you can kind of choose how you want to do it. Let's see. And then the the E alternating. And then for your Y, you'll have, so you'll alternate. I get rid of that little blip. I just add a line there.
Okay.
And you'll probably, we'll do a capital Y. So I'm not sure what yours is going to look like, but I just do that because there's no point in doing that lip. But you'll go alternate. I don't do these inside because they don't look good. It gets to the point where they're touching. So I'm going to just draw a line and get rid of those inside ones.
Oh, okay.
But once again, that's just details. You can do it however you want. Actually, I'm going to make that look pretty. But they're very important for the outside of the letters to make sure there's a distinction because there will be no gaps in your letters. You'll go from letter to letter to letter. But in the insides, it's not as important. And okay, so let me show you then how to design your own. I will email you the template I start with, and then you can use that template for anything you're wanting to do, and then just save it as whatever the heck you want to save it as, and just keep the template. Okay, let me share. Is that my... Here. Okay. So this is the template I start with, like I said. So each one of these is a sheet of paper. So if we were going to do your whole entire book, which book are you wanting to do?
Well, I'll just go ahead and do this one. That's the unexpected blessing. It's, I think, a love story, but the unexpected blessings on the outside sounded kind of nice. It like has 747 letters or pages.
Okay. So let's just stick. We'll just take 500 pages. So that'll be about 250 sheets. And then what we'll have to figure out is math, is then how many pages before and how many pages after. So wait, how many?
Okay. There's 774.
And is that including, is there an index? Is there a glossary? Is there anything else in the end that would add?
Yeah, there's like 12 pages. I think it was 17 pages at the beginning, but that goes right to the end. So there's just one extra page at the end.
Okay, so I'm going to add on 17 pages just because that can make a little bit of a difference. So that's, you're making me do math.
Uh-oh. So we're dividing 8, we're going.
So we're going to get all of the, so when you say 17, that's like 1, 2, that's 17 pages, not sheets, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
so roughly 791.
4, 5, 6.
And then we're going to divide that by 2 to find out how many sheets. Well, actually, no, because we're going to need a page number. So we are going to then take away 500.
So 17 plus 747 is 764.
Oh,
right?
Wait, oh, 747? Oh, I thought it was 774.
Yeah, 747. I could have sensed because my brain goes backwards sometimes.
Okay, so it's 747?
47, yeah.
Okay.
Plus 17, so 764.
Okay, good.
And so we want to find the center of that, right?
Yeah, or let's just take away the 500. So that's going to be 2. Let's see if that's going to look okay. Let's see.
264.
Oh gosh, hello. Yep, 264. That's what I meant. I'm still doing that. 264. So divide that by 2, so that's going to be 132. That'll be 132 pages in the front and 132 pages at the back. Can you like go to
132 pages and see how much it is?
Yeah, go to page 132.
So mine's got 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about that much.
Okay, get about the same at the end too, and just kind of look at it and think, is that going to look okay? You have an artistic eye, I can already tell.
Yeah, kind of have to with my sewing.
Yeah. You don't want that to be too thick.
Yeah, it almost seems a little too thick.
Okay, so let's do, thing is, I don't want to make you.
Yeah, because when I divide that up, it just the middle part, can you see?
And it'll flail out about, you know, like.
That's what it would be. Let me try. That's what it about is about. What do you think?
I don't want to like kill you off and make you fold a lot of pages in your first book. Let's see, 250. But I want it to look good too. Let's do 600, and then you'll just be folding 300 sheets.
Okay.
And then that would give you, so wait, 160. So that would be 50, 60, 70, 82. So go to page 82.
Okay.
Page 82.
82 minus 12. Yeah, that probably feels better, I think. Because I want a bigger portion, in the middle than I want on the edges. So.
Yes. And when you fold it, it will get bigger. So, I mean, if you see this is obvious. It's about it's about 3 times what it is not folded. But, okay. And that'll give you a bit of a fudge too. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to do 300 sheets now.
Okay.
Okay. So what I do is I'm going to get those sheets. Okay. Yeah, when you're ready. So on Excel, you can put the arrow up here. Nope, I don't want that. I want the arrow. And it'll count it. Where's my count? Oh, okay, so down here at the bottom, do you see where it's?
Okay.
It'll tell you the cells. So we're going to go all the way to 300. And we can fudge it a little bit because we have a few extra pages. When I'm doing all of it, you have to be pretty precise. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go to that page and I'm going to format the cell and do it a different color so I know where my end page is.
Okay.
I'm going to do blue. So then we know that we're going to be putting the whole word in here.
Okay.
Now the next thing is we need to insert word art. Let's see. And maybe you know more about Excel and can do this easier, but I found the easiest way is to insert word art and then make it a picture so we can manipulate it this way. Otherwise, it won't let you manipulate it it won't let you manipulate it. So I need to insert word art.
Okay. I've never done word art before, so that's.
It's just going to be the same text here, and I'm going to type in joy. Now down here at the bottom of the template, it told me the font that I like. So I remember the Cambria bold is what I like. I found it's clean, it's pretty. You can get fancier if you'd like, but then you're going to be doing more of those missing spaces.
Okay.
And I just like the clean look. So I have to relearn how to do this every time. Okay, Cambria. Where's my Cambria? Come on. Cambria, and I want it bold. And I want to start out making it as big as possible because then it's just easier to work with. So let's see if
Can
it'll
you
let
stretch
me.
it out on there?
See, if it's in a Word, I'm going to save it as a picture. But yeah, you can. But the thing is, oh, does it just do it? Hold on.
Yeah, if you pick that, you can just stretch it wherever you want it.
I do not like that J.
Yeah, I don't like that J either. I want the J more pronounced and up.
Yeah, that's ugly. Okay. Let's pick a different font. You have a font that feels very pretty?
No, I don't. That's pretty.
You kind of want it. Actually, I mean, that would be okay. Do you like that J? Do you like that?
Yeah, I like that J.
You like it?
Uh-huh.
Do you like the O and the Y?
Yes.
Okay.
Little off, but I like it.
Okay. Can I crop it then? Let's see. The thing is, okay, what just happened? I want that. Can I crop? No, it won't let me crop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as, let's see, save as picture, because what we're going to have to do, you see how there's gaps in between the letters?
Yes.
We're going to get rid of the gaps. So we
Okay.
have to be able to manipulate it more than just to stretch.
Okay.
And so I'm going to save it as Joy. I'm going to delete this and insert it back in as a picture.
Okay.
Now, I've found that if you have a lot of pages, and you can do a lot of pages for a letter, that 4 inches this way is a good size.
Okay.
And with yours, you've got enough pages, 4 inches will look good.
Okay.
So that's why I have this little blue thing here to kind of help me to figure out how high. But if I can crop this, why is it? Okay, my computer's being slow. Patience. I'm going to crop. I'm going to go right to the top, right to the bottom. The back end doesn't matter as much, but the front end does, because you're wanting to get it as close to the very first line, which is the very first page, as you can get to. So you want it close to the beginning of that. And then you see, so right now up here, it shows the height is 4.2. So I want it about 4 inches. And once again,
How do you tell that?
up here,
Oh, okay.
it'll tell you the height of the word, which is really nice. And
Okay. So
now,
that's your cropping. Okay. Okay. I get it now.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it to get to our colored line. And then when it's like this, let's see. Yep. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to copy it twice, paste it twice, so we're going to get each individual letter so that I can manipulate each individual letter, but you don't want to do that until you get it as close to where you're wanting it as you can, because then it's less movement. So I'm going to copy, paste, paste. And then I'm going to get these to line up with my original one as close as I can. So they're already where they're at. And this one won't be as much because it's not like they're on a line. But this one, you know, if I didn't put them close together, this L would be a little bit lower, that L would be a little bit higher. You could tell. This one won't be as, you won't need to be as specific about it. So now we're gonna crop so that I just have my J and just have, sorry, my window.
Like Y instead, is that Y gonna look okay, that elongated out?
Yeah, because it won't be that elongated out.
Okay.
Yep, crop. Yeah, because, and this is where pictures are kind of difficult. Letters are really easy. Ooh.
I was gonna say that's moving over there. That's not gonna let you crop it, is it? Unless you've moved that O first.
Say underline. Let's see. How have I done this in the past? How I've done it in the past is either you just cut off the Y right there, so it doesn't have that extra swoop.
Yeah.
But if you want that extra swoop, I go like that, and you'll just, let's see, how have I done this in the past? You'll just ignore that. Okay, here. The only problem.
Can we move that O over a little bit and then, because aren't we gonna need to get rid of these spaces in between the J and the O?
But I've got to crop it first before I can move this stuff over. So let's see how we can do this and still keep it in. Didn't I crop? Crop. Okay. So the thing is, what you're gonna...
It won't let you pull out the O itself. Okay.
No, I can move it. It's just, let's see. I'm trying to think. Because I want to elongate the O even a little bit more because they have the double. The ones with have doubles or triples that you're going to be using more pages and missing some of them, you want those to have a little bit more. So this one doesn't need to be changed all that much.
Okay. But you want to get all the spaces out in between the letters, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because otherwise you're going to have extra pages at the end because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why you need to get rid of those, because you're not going to have them in your picture. So you don't want unaccounted for pages. Now I'm trying to get it, why I'm getting all here is to make sure it's where it's supposed to be, is because you're going to do the ending of the Y. I wish you could see my finger pointing. You're going to be doing the ending of the Y right here. And then you want the beginning of the O to be the next line. So I do both sides of the gray like you're saying. So one side of the gray will be
The end of the Y, then other side of the gray will be the beginning of the O.
Yes. So I'm trying to make it so that it's going to look, you're going to get your Y and be okay with the O. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. So then the thing with this, let's see how messed up that's going to be. See, then that moves. It's moving that. Let me cut. Here we go. Let's crop that off.
I would say we could just get rid of the bottom of the Y, I think. It's, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just crop that and get it away so then it's not a problem. So then you'll just have to ignore that part of the O. Okay. If I can make sure, let's see. Oh, hello, what has happened? Okay. Actually, I'm gonna save this file, save as. Joy. This little Zoom box keeps getting exactly where I need to be hitting. Okay, so we've saved it. So I need to make that Y a little bit smaller so that it's not overlapping. I mean, no, you don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna move it. Is that gonna throw you off? You wanna be able to see that and still start it. Now, it might just be like a point. I'm trying to get it so that you have, you know, it might just be a line. So at the beginning of this Y, it's just gonna be, you're gonna be folding it so that the pages are touching. You know, like at the beginning, you're like, oh, that's close. Like, right. Yes, it's gonna be even, it's gonna be close. It'll just be, okay. There will be no gap in there. It'll be just a point because that will look a lot better. Then let's make sure.
So we want that Y over a little bit closer.
Yes, we do.
Because it looks like it's over our pages on the other side. That's close enough.
Close enough for government work. Let's see. I don't want, no, you can still do that. Okay, let's see. See, I'd have the end of that. And see, what's good about this though, if you're missing a page or two, if you're like, it's not a big deal, right? Because you'll have a little extra. I just want that. Yeah, that should do it. That should do it. Okay, I know that's going to be a little annoying, but you can use the lines out here and out here to still line up where that O goes. So just ignore that part of the O, and that should do it. Okay, now the hard part is printing it. Because what I used to do is I would just print it and then measure from the top, because what you're wanting to do, another thing is now you need to measure how tall your book is. Do you have a ruler?
I've got, let's see.
I didn't mention a ruler, I'm sorry.
Well, I know I have a, let me go run. I know I've got a, in my sewing stuff, just a second.
Oh, yes, okay.
Oh, is that, no, that's. Okay. Can't find my stuff, but I found a little ruler. So just the pages and not the.
Correct, yeah.
Not the outside. Okay, so we're doing 6. Seven. Just a little over 8, 8 1/4.
Okay, So then you're gonna, because this is 4 inches tall, so we're basically gonna find out how many inches on the top and the bottom. So did you say 7 1/4 or 8 1/4?
1/4.
8 1/4. So then it's gonna be 4 1/4. So roughly 2 inches on the top and 2 inches on the bottom.
Right. Okay.
So 2 1/8
Yeah.
on the top. Okay, 2 1/8. And so thing is what I can do is I can email this to you, because what I do is I'll set up a print area and then I'll set up margins. And I'll be able to say, okay, I want a 1.5 margin. And depending on how I can set up the print area with this, and I think you have to do that on your end with your printer. But I can show you how I do it. So let's say this is where try and see. So that's like 1.1. Okay. I'm just going to put a 1 inch margin. It'll only do it on the lines, so I can't pick a print area. It's weird. So what you do, it doesn't really matter the print area on the bottom. It matters the top, and it doesn't really matter on the end of the word either. It just matters at the top and the beginning. So I create this. I just highlight that, and then I go to File, and I say Print Area, Set Print Area. And I have this blue thing up top, so I know about how many inches. And right now it's showing that this thing right now is 1 inch. Oh, nope, it changed. What? Oh, because it's not right on it. Let's see. And you don't have to be as precise. This one is more.
And we're wanting it 2 inches, basically, aren't we?
Yes, and then with the margin, we can fudge the rest with the margins we set when we print.
Okay.
So, I mean, either you can do it. This part just is hard for me. Setting the margin is easy. So I guess technically, let's just delete this whole thing. Let's move that baby. I'm gonna try something. Set the margin up. Because that was it. I had to move the whole word. Okay. So I'm going to do the whole word. And I'm going to move it so it's right on a line. Do you see what I'm doing? So I'm moving the word so it's right on this cell, I guess. I don't know what that is. Because then I can highlight it. Oh, will it not let me? Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to do over here. Maybe this is why I've never done it this way. I'm like, I'm all about trying to find an easier way. Okay, so there we go. So now I've highlighted right at the top. So now I'm going to make my margin 2 inches and 1/8. Once I set my print area, set print area. So then I'm going to go to File, Print. Do you know how to set up your margins and stuff? Do you already know how to do that?
Other than, this isn't in Word, actually. I don't think I've ever done it actually in Excel before.
Okay.
It's similar to Word, doesn't it? So you want the orientation to be
you don't want it that. You want it not portrait, landscape. You want it landscape. you go to margins, and then you go to manage customs.
Okay.
And then we're going to get rid of the header because I think it's easier just to, and then you can put in 2 point. What's 1/8 in a decimal? Hey babe, what's 1/8 in a decimal?
25, 12, 12?
Okay.
Because 25 is.
It'll be fine. That's good. That's good. And even if you wanted to do 2, it'd be a little bit bigger on the bottom, but not enough that you would notice.
Okay.
And on the left, well, yeah, you want it about an inch on the beginning so that you're not right up against the edge. You can put that on the, never mind, doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter on the bottom or anything else. So then when you print it, both pages should have the correct top. And then, now I don't think saving it on my end and then emailing it to you, it's not going to save the print area and it's not going to save the print. You'll have to do that part, but you can come back and look and see how to do it.
Okay.
But the thing is, sometimes my printer, the papers are off just like a bit. So I always, once they both print, because this will be 2 pages, when they both print, I make sure that it's correct. Because I've gotten to the point where I've gotten to the second page and it's off by eek, but then you can tell, and I've had to go, it was annoying. So just when you print it, make sure that it's printed. Basically, just make sure your paper's incorrect before you print, that it's all the same.
Level, yeah.
I take it out, I make sure it's all in, I put it in, and then it's usually fine. And then the thing holding it in is right butt up against it, then you're probably just fine. It was probably just my printer and I didn't put it in correctly and all that. So there's that. Then you just take it out. Yeah, add it to, put it on your little wrap, and then start folding. Well, start marking and then folding. That's all my knowledge.
You mark one letter at a time and then do that letter and then mark the other letter. Okay.
Yeah. Just to make sure it's looking okay, and it's just more fun that way because then you break it up. Because if you mark, it gets really, really boring.
Yeah.
I mark and then fold, and I'm like, oh look, it looks great. Okay, I can just
Yay!
exactly progress. So
Okay.
that's what I like to do.
Okay.
I think that's it. So I think you just dive in, do what you can do. I'll email you the joy and I'll email you the template so then you can do whatever words and other things you want to do.
Okay.
And then if you got questions, just let me know.
Let me put my computer in here before it dies.
Oh yeah, do you want me to just email it to you and then help?
Yeah, email it to me and let me make sure I can print it up. Good.
Save. Okay, cancel out of that. Don't want to print, save. Okay, and I already have your email. Oh.
So how did you make this template up?
My husband helped me because I learned online, and the way that they were teaching me, oh my gosh, you had to measure, take a ruler and measure from the top for the top mark and then measure down, and it was off by like 1/8 of an inch. So oh my goodness, it took forever. So anyway, so my husband's like, we can come up with an easier way to do this. Yes. And joy. Yeah, I just taught myself looking online, seeing what people were doing. Browse this computer. And there might be, if you figure out an easier way to do something, you're like, oh man, she did that really difficult. Let me know, because I'm all about ease and learning new easy ways. This is just what I have found. That one. And then, where's my book template? Okay. It should be getting to you.
Let me minimize this. I'm just figuring out because you shared screens, so now I'm trying to just minimize.
Let me stop sharing.
I'm like, oh, I need to see the rest of my